Get a mic. What's up? Wednesday, March 6th. Is that accurate? March 6th.
Yep. Right in front of you.
March 6th, Rico.
On the board.
That's how we're starting the day.
You're a little slow this morning.
Myself, yeah, I'm pissed at the fucking TikTok.
You pissed at TikTok.
There was a lot of things down. There was a lot of stories to get up. I was gonna get some feeds off, and the green screen's down.
Perfect. We can talk about them today.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, multiple platforms. Few things to start with. I owe Jason Kelce an apology.
Oh.
Wow, big of you, Bosco. Big of you.
Think he just did things?
Now,
for no
I'm
reason?
actually, before I clap, is there a setup here?
Oh, you don't know what happened?
No,
Oh,
I guess not.
So his trainer, he let him. He also taped his ankles.
Yes, I saw.
His trainer had chemo and missed his last game.
Oh.
So, retraction done.
You were going pretty viral with how bad your take was yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of hateful DMs. But in fairness, I didn't have the full story. So you're allowed to have that opinion.
No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Without
But
that
you're
story,
the only one that
you
had
were
that
still
take
bad.
before the story.
I'd still have the same take without the story.
I yelled at you before the story.
Yeah, we all did.
I had no idea about the story.
Joe Opella.
Guy's a good guy.
He is a good guy. So, hand up.
There was like a little part of me. There was a little part of me that was like, did they release this story? Because I saw like Bosco's take.
Listen,
Imagine.
if I got on a guest appearance on New Heights, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
No,
don't
he
think
didn't do
they'd-
shit. He doesn't give a fuck what you think
I
about
don't think
him.
they'd be inviting you on after yesterday.
Uh,
Let me tell you, can I shout out 47 real fast? Because this hat is sick.
The corduroy hats are
This
good.
corduroy
Really
Kansas hat is fucking unbelievable. So shout out 47 because that's a great hat.
Yeah.
I think some of the stuff that really stole the headlines last night, there's obviously some mainstream stuff, but the off-the-grid stuff really dominated last night. The Manasquan Camden ending
The number one story.
is fucking insane.
What a piece of shit.
There's an angle. There's a lot of angles. KFC did it. Everyone's going with it. I screenshotted it. It's 0.5. I just tweeted that. Like, it's very obvious. Oh, we can show this?
It's not like TV.
Yeah, it's on
stuff.
NFL films.
All right. So there's an angle under the basket from like behind this ref. Also, by the way, the New Jersey ref shirts are awful. Now this guy fucking is going. It's in. He's got to look at the clock. That's his call. So that one didn't have a lot of audio. It's a screen recording and like things are popping up. There's an alternate angle that comes from behind the basket. The player's not going.
Dukes, we can hear it.
Dukes.
You can hear
It's
it.
a scream. It's just literal screaming. No. So this one shows it as well. This does not have the buzzer audio. There's another one from under the actual basket.
I know what one you're talking about. I saw.
That Dukes, I'm pretty sure is in my blog if you wanted to pull
that
that
one you
up.
could see it clear as day.
You could see it clear as
That one
day,
you could see
and
the-
that's why this guy calls it. But again, you don't hear the buzzer. It is a sound and sight call. The one under the basket of where the play is actually happening, you clear as day hear the buzzer.
No, for sure. I heard that.
Clear as day, hear the buzzer after the ball goes in. It's fucking
Can I tell you?
insane.
Can I say something? I don't care. You're right, 100% right. I don't even care about if what the call was, wrong or right. The first call was in. That is a made basket. When you don't have replay, you don't have anything to look at. You cannot come back.
Can we get the sound on this one?
You can't say it's wrong after that.
All right, ready? Ready? I mean,
It's so much. It's so much.
come on, dude.
Way after.
And
Way after.
you can't.
It's an
stop.
easy basket.
That's a sight and sound call. I'm so baffled as to what the interaction here is. Also, that lady.
Is there footage?
Rewind. That lady walking across without a care in the world is also kind of very funny. Hold on. Where the fuck is she? Just take a look. It's like a gray sweatshirt. Where do you see this? I just noticed this. Look at this lady has no fucking care in the world. She's just like, see ya. I gotta get home. I gotta beat the traffic.
Is there footage of them actually like reversing it and then the other team
There's
celebrating?
the first video Duke showed of them like
Yes.
of them huddling. I'm just
Because
confused
saying,
as to
like,
what they
the
say
actual
in that.
the actual reaction from the other team and from the team that got totally hosed, like their reaction to.
I don't know. I haven't seen that fully.
I wonder. See, I know that the playoff, Jersey State playoffs. I can't imagine like if their game was what was it last night or the night before?
Last night.
Then I can't imagine they're probably playing in like a few days or whatever. Is there anything they can do to like just make the call right?
What I'm
'Cause
told.
it's so obvious.
Well,
like,
all right. So
just do the right. Can they do the right thing?
They're protesting it.
Like they should. They got
are
fucking
protesting,
smoked.
and they should just look at a video and be like, you know what, you're right, and that's it.
Semis?
I'm conflicted on opening that up in terms of the protest because then there's been calls down like in the past that were really bad, and you open up that floodgates of then everyone thinks they're entitled to a protest. But I also see the side that Manasquan got fucking hosed here.
Like this is crazy.
Clear as day. They also made the right call and then reversed it. I've also been told somebody's in contact. They're like, we want the kid on the show, this and that. They are allowed, the New Jersey NJSIAA or whatever that is allowed to overturn it from what I'm being told.
Whoa.
Like the committee is allowed to overturn it on the spot, and they didn't.
But can they still do it?
I don't know. I think it would suck for Camp. Like now, the longer you go, the worse it is.
I agree.
'Cause that's not fair to the Camden kids.
Now,
Don't get me wrong. Like it's completely fucked as well. It's a lose-lose. They should have figured it out that night. They also should have just got it right. It's a sight and sound call. It's a hard thing to do, but you watch the clock and you listen, and the guy is emphatic, and he's got the call. He's looking at the shot clock, or he heard the whistle.
They can't change it now.
I heard the buzzer.
Because just because it went viral now, they can't change it.
Yeah.
But all right. So how do you say that though? The right call is Manasquan wins.
But the thing is, how many?
So yes, you can change it in my eyes. If you do get it right, if ultimately the right team wins, you can change
Like
it.
how many times have we seen a football game end because of a ref? Like we
100%. That's where it opens. Again, you open up the can of worms. I said that in the beginning. It's a complicated process, but I thought they should have made it.
As a protest.
It's for a state final. It's not just fucking senior night between 2 8 and 12 teams.
A protest ever worked in any sport, in professional sport?
The last successful NBA protest was like 2007, 2008.
Really?
Yeah, where
Regular season?
regular season, I think the story was Shaq got called for a sixth foul and really had 5. So they made them replay the last like 40 seconds of that game.
Oh, really? There's a very famous baseball protest story. You know the game when George Brett goes absolutely berserk in the Pine Tar?
yeah.
All right, so the game got canceled. That game got canceled. They had to resume it. Billy Martin, the way it ended, the way the game got delayed, somebody hits a home run. Billy Martin comes out at the new game like a month and a half later. Like guys had been traded. Like it was chaos. They played it like 2:00 in the afternoon in front of 11 people. Nobody cared. Long story short, there's 4 new umps. Billy Martin, when they get out to the field, appeals first base. The ump goes safe. Martin comes out and goes berserk. He goes, how the fuck could you know if he hit first base? You weren't even on the game. The ump let him chew. The ump pulled a signed affidavit from the 4 umps in the previous game that said he touched all of the bases. Because they got tipped off through the league that Billy Martin was going to fuck around with the protest. And they all hated Billy Martin. So I always thought that story was good. But this one, I don't know, man. It's now you're in a spot where you're screwing both teams because the Camden kids like shouldn't have to deal with that as well. But ultimately, the right call here is Manasquan wins.
It's too long now.
My cousins play around here. Like they play for RBC, which is whatever. But I think Camden was like the best team by far. Like this was a huge upset. I think they have a couple D1 kids. So this would have been the equivalent to like a 17.5 point spread.
Really?
Like I heard it was like this was like a huge one of the biggest upsets like the conference and the
Yeah, I mean the game was in Camden. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's what I just texted them about. I said what's gonna happen.
I let me tell you something. As that high school team though, if they won last night and that buzzer beater happens, I have no idea that happens, right?
Yeah, for
never
sure.
know.
For sure.
Right. Well, no, I disagree.
You'd have zero. You might know because you're a senior.
I
in high
even
school.
think
I would have no idea.
It would have been a non-story.
Hold on, you're talking about if it was just a buzzer beater?
They just won that game. They called the right call. I would have no idea that game happened.
Okay, it would not have been a major story, but I do think now
Be a
with
minus.
people's algorithms and who you follow in niche subjects, you could have seen it on your timeline. Yes.
Maybe-
You're all right. I'll ask you this. Neutral guy. Ev, have you seen any kind of wacky football endings from high school via people you follow on your timeline on Twitter in the fall? Have you ever seen any odd D2 or D3 endings?
I would say there's
college.
Well, not college.
What about
I would
college?
even go to high school with you.
Have you seen any high school odd ones?
There's probably one ending and one just play, but they're like really viral type shit.
Okay.
Like the one was that viral Minnesota where he caught it behind his back. You remember
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
I was like,
See, that's what I'm talking about.
But that's insane.
that was like just a crazy play.
You would have seen. The other thing is, if you
the other
follow
one wasn't
local
ending.
reporters like these guys in the New Jersey.
Local reporters.
I do. The New
I'm
Jersey
with
paper
Barstool.
guys. The guy does Seton Hall. He's a beat reporter for Seton Hall, and then he covers high school as well. Like,
Let me tell you
that's what these
something.
guys do to make
Let me
ends
tell you
meet.
something.
If you follow them, they're on your timeline.
95% of the world would not see this. 99% of the world would not see this. Now, everybody in the world is seeing it. It's the number one story today with every sport happening. Like, obviously, it sucks, but you're getting the sympathy. You got to celebrate the win because it happened.
But you didn't really get to sell. You
did.
Yeah, I mean, you got to for like 20 seconds. You got
Oh,
the
that was
initial
at
burst.
least 10 minutes. They went on for a while.
You got the initial burst, and then you get the carpet ripped out from under your feet.
That sucks, but you're getting the sympathy of the world right now. I'm not saying it's great. I'd rather still win, but it's not a bad thing happening.
Actually, the only other one I think I've seen, which was the football ending, which I'm pretty sure was maybe the state championship, or it was in the state playoffs too. It actually might have been in Jersey. Maybe I'm wrong, but that ending where they had like the play at the goal line for the win, and he clearly's like he gets stuffed so bad, and they just call it a touchdown. And honestly, Meek shaking his head. He remembers, and it just went viral because it was like he was literally like a full yard short, and the guy just calls it a touchdown. They're just like, it's a touchdown, and it was like I think it literally was like a walk off to win the state title.
This is where, like,
Totally wrong.
I mean, here's the right thing. This is never, ever, ever going to happen because the school would get reprimanded and the New Jersey thing would, like, blacklist them potentially forever. But it would be a bad, like, their hands would kind of be tied. You almost need, like, the mob to step in here and set Manasquan up in the game with whoever won in an unsanctioned site. Like, the mob goes out, and you're not going to get NJ SAC refs because they'll never ref again, but you get New York refs or you get college refs, whatever. Like, set it up, and these guys play, and the team who's in the other semi, knowing that they shouldn't play Camden, they should play Manasquan, opts out of that championship, and you have an unsanctioned championship game.
We should just do that at Barstool Chicago.
Fly them both out? Yeah. I'm sure that's
I mean, that would be a Barstool thing.
But like,
We
if that came out, if that story came out, that somebody, a millionaire or somebody was like, you know what, I'm going to make this right, and went to the other team who won the second semifinal, who we don't even know who the fuck that is, and said, listen, opt out. You know you're not supposed to play Camden. Manasquan won. Opt out. You opt out. We'll figure it out. Get a neutral site. Go play the fucking game. That story would be like, I don't know. I feel like pretty cool. I don't know if it wouldn't be banging down the door to go watch the game, but it would be like, hey, they made it right in that championship game, and you have enough time because the game's probably when Sunday.
Sometime this week, I'd imagine.
You have a few days to make it happen.
The only problem is that other team that's now going to play Camden, I think they'd like to win a state title.
That other team.
They fucking won.
But they would have won it. They would have won it because when the
I'm not
story
saying
comes
Manasquan's
out,
in the team
everyone will know they won a state title.
Whoever it is that Camden is like supposed to play.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is in your own like little Bosco world. Like they want to hold a real trophy, state championship. Like they want to hang a banner in their school gym.
That's why you need the mafia. The mafia goes out and buys the exact same trophy, puts the whole thing is replicated. It's just a fantasy world.
Like if you're a little kid playing basketball, you work like your whole. If you're at this,
You would get a trophy. You would go out and
but
get
you're
the
making this
trophies.
fake trophy up, like-
No, but it would be
They want to
exact
win a real state championship.
Well, let me ask you this: a real state championship, they're not supposed to play Camden. And now what's
Yeah,
even
but
worse is
no
what if
one's
they
gonna care
lose to
about that
Camden?
later.
What if they lose to Camden? They weren't supposed to play Camden.
That's what I was going to say is the biggest loser is the team that now has to play Camden because if they're Dukes is saying they're that much better of a team.
Yeah, they got all these.
Camden has a kid going to Kentucky. Like I'm telling you, like they're like
shit.
legit. Like
Yeah,
Manasquan
they're
had a
probably
14. Manasquan had a 17-point lead at half last night. My cousin just said.
Manasquan had a 17-point.
Oh yeah, they did. They did. There is a little bit of like Manasquan. They didn't score for the last 4.5 minutes or something, or maybe the
That
whole
makes it
fourth
even
quarter.
crazier.
Maybe I think the whole fourth
at the
quarter.
buzzer.
That was their last.
No.
Yeah, that was their last bucket in the fourth
Like,
quarter. Only bucket.
I like follow my cousin's teams like pretty hard because like they're like juniors and seniors. They're really good, and I like knew about Camden before this game. Like it was like, oh yeah, like I should probably go to the Camden game. Like so, I don't know. But it's also like if you're also the other team, like you got, or like in the state championship, you got royally hosed.
Yeah.
I have a question for the guys here. Let's say you win a game on a call that's bad. Are you apologizing for the win?
Hell no.
No.
I don't.
Yeah, but I think
nah.
forever.
I could give a fuck.
Nah, you can't.
Like, great call, ref.
That can't be. I mean, there's just so many things in sports you could say that about.
Jared Goff
That literally,
apologize.
exactly. Yeah, like no one. You think anyone's hearing pity from
I
the
could
Saints
give a
right now?
fuck. I'd
Like,
literally
let a few years go by, and this high school was even less time. But even in the pro sports, let a few years go by, no one gives a fuck.
They really don't.
When the winning team won, you lost. That's it. No one wants to
one's
hear
gonna
your
care about
excuses.
this. If Camden wins the championship, no one's gonna care as well in a couple weeks. Like,
You might just hear like a few people that like people from Manasquan will say it, but like it's that's in their bubble of like their town, which I understand to them it's important, but
I don't know.
The
Like
world's not going to really care that.
We need these guys mic'd up. Like I need to know when he's going like this. What the fuck is he talking about? Go to the refs thing again. That conference is
honestly
bizarre.
this will actually be depending on what happens. Like especially say that Camden goes wins like a state title. This would be one of those cool things to do a documentary on in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like when all these kids are like in their late 20s and they're like we fuck.
like, what-
They're
what
like
is he-
they're all accountants and the Camden Kentucky's in the NBA.
yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we won that state title. And they asked him like Jared Goff, so you gonna apologize for it? He's gonna be like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Well, he's playing for like the Knicks or fucking somebody.
Crazy, dude. The other one that was really off the grid, every year during championship week, there's a tournament that goes bananas. A couple of years ago, it was the Horizon when all 4 of those games went to overtime. The A-Sun last night, quarterfinals, was fucking literally nuts. It was all anybody could talk about. So the first story that is the least entertaining of all of them is the fact that Queens University was playing when they're not eligible for the fucking dance. So that's bizarre. We're letting them play. They pull an upset. They're playing nuts. Then you have the Lipscomb buzzer beater at the end. Yep. The North Alabama buzzer beater against Lipscomb. The North Alabama kid went to Lipscomb for 3 years.
Crazy, I heard that.
And then beats his old team. Lipscomb was the second favorite, I think, in that tournament. They're out. Oh, the 3 seed, but they were like second highest odds. They're out. Austin Peay's coach, the game goes into overtime. He's coaching in fatigues like fucking maniac.
Straight boots on.
Yeah, like you only see this. I showed up to do the clock at FDU, and the Wagner guy was wearing a jersey. Like, because it was one of those, like, symbolic, we're all in. Like, I'm out on the floor, too. But it's like, you're really not. You're on the fucking sideline. So, like, you only see this shit in the low conferences. So, the Austin Peay guy is wearing fatigues. Bananas. And then the number 1 seed, Eastern Kentucky, goes down to Jacksonville, who's the 10. So, I dug this up. You have the semis, because they reseed, like the NFL. So, it's Stetson as the 2 against Jacksonville, and 6 North Alabama against the 4 Austin Peay. So, you can have a 6 or a 4 playing. From what I'm told, Stetson was 3-1 coming in. Jacksonville was 13,000 to 1 to win the whole thing.
You mean
1,300?
Well, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Plus 13,000, 1,300 to 1.
So you're saying 130 to 1 or 13 to 1?
The way it was listed to me was 13. It's 13 plus 13,000.
13 to 1.
Yeah, 13 to 1. Or 13,000 or yeah.
It's plus 13,000, 13 to 1.
Yeah.
No,
No, because North Alabama is plus 2,500.
I'm saying it wrong. Whatever.
Yes, it's 1,300. North Alabama is 2,500 to 1. That's 25. That's 250 to 1.
You're 130 to 1 to win it. They were.
No, they're 1,300 to 1.
You had 3 zeros.
Yeah.
That's plus 13,000 you got written down.
So why am I fucking up the math? You take away 2 zeros, 130 to 1. Yeah, you're right.
If there's 3 zeros.
You're right.
30
Take
to
away.
1.
What's the team?
Crazy.
You sound like
My
idiots
bad.
right now.
What? Yeah. I mean, the zeros got me fucked up. That's my bad.
You were fucking me up. I was like,
It did. The zeros got me fucked up. Jacksonville.
They're probably 100.
It's not on right now. You got to look up the
I feel
previous.
like it almost has to be 13 to 1.
It's
130.
no, it's 130 to 1.
That's unless
It's 2 zeros. I'm an idiot. 3 to 1. It's my bad. A lot of numbers. Championship week.
fucking-
A lot of numbers.
It's like him explaining the franchise tag yesterday. He got it wrong.
Yeah, I did get that wrong. 130 to 1. I apologize. 131 plus
Did you learn what
13,000.
franchise tagging was?
Yeah, still not really. Somebody commented.
It's the first year you get a 1-year guaranteed deal for I believe it's an average of the top 5 players.
All right.
At your position, how much they get paid?
North Alabama 25-1, and Austin Peay 7-1. So you're guaranteed to have a 7 or a 25 playing a 130 or a 300 in those ASUN summies.
Wow.
It's just every year there's something that just goes absolutely bananas. Of all those stories, which one was would you say the craziest?
The Lipscomb ending was nuts.
Not the 1 seed going down to the 10?
I just think the fact that they hit because it's kind of like the Marcus Page shot with the Jenkins shot where it's the shot before the shot where they hit a 3 to tie it with like a couple
hit a big one,
a couple seconds left. Well, also there was the one too where the kid hit that like half court shot and he shot it with like 5 seconds left. You saw that one?
Yes.
Like that one was crazy. I was like, it was like something you see in like a middle school game. Like the kid, he literally pulls up from half court with like 5 seconds on the clock to the point it goes in. And they're celebrating. There was like 2 seconds left. He didn't even run out the whole clock. He could have literally ran it. He honestly could have taken the ball to the hoop. He just pulled up. He just shoots a half court shot and he buries it. It was nuts.
Nuts. The guy wearing the camo was crazy. What the fuck? Oh,
Dogs.
that scared me because it was a little low.
We just have so many things happen.
We just got dogs running through the office right now.
Yeah, Queens not being eligible is down the list, but I always find that fascinating. The camo guy, that game goes into overtime, is 100 points scored in that game. And then the number 1 goes down. Yeah, it's crazy. Like every year, and now this is must see TV Thursday night. I don't even know where it's available. It's probably still streaming. I can't imagine it's on. Thursday's kind of a dead night. Maybe they'll give them like the U. Maybe, but I think they're still streaming.
If they're like, I would say semis. Yeah, the championship game obviously be on TV
because the semis are also they do it at the same sites. So in order to get those games on TV, they do it at 2 different sites, the campus sites, and then they rotate in. So
ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
ESPN Plus on both.
On that,
Yeah.
And ESPN Plus.
Yeah, so like that, and now I'm locked into the ASUN. Like I got to see how this is gonna go. And then you're kind of fascinated because, like, let's say the 6 wins, they're a fucking sacrificial lamb. Like somebody's gonna catch a break here, catching a truly weak 16. If I was Purdue, I'd be praying.
That's what I was gonna say. They're gonna be like a team like that's gonna be a 16 regardless. Where last year, obviously, we saw like FDU was like just such an insane story. But I mean, obviously, we've seen 2 16s win ever.
Yeah.
If you're a 16 seed, would you rather play the 1 straight away or actually get one?
No, straight up. I think I don't like the 16s playing in.
I don't. I think for their sake,
they
the playing game's good.
They get a win, and it's like at least they get an extra game of like people seeing them instead of like it's 70-30.
But also, some team gets to go home without ever really being in the dance.
100%.
That's bullshit to me too.
But they did get
the 1 seed is tough.
But I
because by definition those aren't play-in games. They won their conference. They're in the tournament. That's where like I'm being literal, but they shouldn't have to play into the tournament. The way the tournament is written, you're a 1-bid league. You win your conference, you are in. Playing into the tournament should be all the 11s. And that would be more compelling television.
No. But see, I think what you're missing is, and I agree with you partly, but I think the spin zone for them is that it's that one they get like a true standalone. That you're not. They get a true standalone.
All eyes are on.
But everybody's eyes are on the 1 seeds as well when they
but they just get their they're not because
that's the last game.
No, they're not because it's a 30-point. Yeah, exactly.
I don't watch
30-point game.
But
no one gives a fuck about it.
I know you're gonna hate it because I'm a TV nerd. When Duke was the 1 and Kentucky is the 1, they're played. Those games are usually on the CBS feed.
Still,
so
that.
even the casual fan,
because they're getting smoked. So by the second half, the game's off.
It's not off. You got 4 channels now.
No, but
100 years ago, yes.
Like, you don't care.
Yeah, but no one cares about it. Like it's on. Sure, I'm saying like if you're like it's not.
All right, I'm just
watching it.
If it's 16 versus 16, you get a real. Like obviously, like you said, there was 2 instances in the entire duration of the tournament ever. So outside of those 2, and obviously there's been like I'm sure there's been a few close ones mixed in, but like 98% of the time, it's a blowout. But those 16, like when you get a 16 versus 16, they get to play a competitive, like good game, a standalone game where everyone's watching them. They're the only game on TV, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday night. They get that game, they get the spotlight,
and
you get those moments where I think the winner, like obviously the thing happened Purdue last year was nuts, but you get an FDU coach that walks in after that like viral video after the game where they win, and he's like, "We can fucking beat Purdue."
Yeah,
and you get like moments like that where I think you might not get if you didn't have these playing games. But I get your sentiment that like they earn their spot in the tournament. But to me, the 16 versus 16 is almost as like I would almost prefer that because you get that spot, you get the TV spot, and you get to you get to like show yourself, and then a team can rally, like almost like the America can almost like rally around you a little
Maybe
bit.
if they don't,
They get a player they like, someone stands out. Where if they just play Kentucky off the rip,
Or a really
probably-
really savvy gambler falls in love with them and says they're too small.
maybe
Yeah,
that too for
exactly.
sure.
but like even if they don't win against the number 1 seed, it's like they still can go back to their school. Like we have an NCAA tournament win.
100%.
And I know that might not be
Sure.
people's like real one, but
I don't
that's
count it as an NCAA tournament.
I
but
would
yeah.
if I'm like FDU or like
For sure. That's what I'm saying. Like you're saying,
trash.
you don't count it, but the only teams that fall in this spot are like really small schools. Like it's not like fucking Clemson or whoever's going to like claim this win. It's
Yeah,
teams
like if
FDU. It's teams like that.
Virginia wins
like a-
the
like
play-in
a-
game.
yeah,
I'm
like
not
Texas
saying
Southern,
that's a
you know.
fucking- Virginia doesn't get to say that they won a tournament game if they won the play-in game.
Right.
But fucking trash ass schools that we don't even know their names and they get in.
Yeah, jerk off state. They're hanging a banner for that.
Who else scored 100 points last night? You said someone.
Florida.
Oh.
Dayton.
Well, Dayton was an easy winner. That was part of my parlay. Your team's has a lot of problems
holes.
happening right now.
Who got hurt?
They're also
Griffin.
really hurting themselves on.
I think it's a little bit of
Their
fatigue.
seed-
I think
their
the
seed, in
depth
the
we don't
tournament.
we have a lot of guys playing a lot of minutes. The seed is lining up not to be good. I think they're lined up in UConn's bracket now, which means going all the way
what
north.
seed are they looking at right now?
They're relatively home. They're still a 4, but it's in jeopardy.
Yeah, I think that's going to go down to a 5.
Yeah, but if you look at the way the tournament is, they're going to get South Carolina in the potential semis. They get a good game in the quarters, then they get South Carolina in the semis. If they win and just get to the championship game, that's 2 good wins again.
They got to win, though. Like,
I know they got to win. I
Or they
agree.
got-
Yeah, I mean they're looking to fall into a 5 or a. I actually rather fall to a 6 than a 5, if that makes sense.
I mean, it all
Because
really.
I don't. If you look at those ones based on the,
honestly.
you've already seen like who are the ones lining up to be Houston. I don't really want any part of them with that defensive
Houston,
strategy.
UConn, Purdue,
Although maybe if Houston keeps
maybe
losing
Tennessee
guys,
probably
Let's see.
Tennessee or Arizona probably.
Tennessee would be a rarity where they would put you in the same bracket. But yeah, Tennessee's kind of got our number. UConn scares the shit out of me. Arizona, they've already beaten us kind of handily. Purdue is the other one potentially. Purdue, you have Edey, who's a problem. You know what I mean? Could be a problem. They beat them close early in the year, but I'd almost rather be a 6 because then in the Sweet 16 you're getting a 3. No, second round you would get a 3, which is hard. I'll say that. But then in the Sweet 16 you draw a 2 instead of a 1.
It's not even the part of your problem. Like again, Alabama could 100% go on a run. They're that talented offensively. But like a game like last night, when you don't play defense whatsoever and you have an off night, like their defense is truly one of the worst defenses I've ever seen.
struggling.
You could admit it.
For the first 15 minutes, they held them to 25 points, and I
Florida's
was
not-
like dancing. And they couldn't hit a 3 to save their lives.
That's what I was gonna say.
And also, the game would have been a shootout if they actually hit a few threes.
Yeah, but that's a problem with.
But even early, like
against
in the
Florida.
first half, Florida wasn't shooting that well either.
I know. 25 points in 15 minutes. I was like, all right, we haven't hit shit. We're down 4. This is okay. And then Florida went on that run, put it at 11 at the half, and
What's
then
their
it opened the fuck
defense
up, you know?
on kenpom.
I think it's now probably, if I had to guess, like 106, 112.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Not good. It's definitely not good.
I will say
You
I-
and Kentucky are just
What?
the same team.
Kentucky's the exact same team, 100%.
Like you guys could make the Final Four just by scoring 105 every
Right.
game.
So who is that? What's that metric, Dukes? I don't like kenpom. I've said that, but what's the metric that like the champion has won?
57-37, I think.
I mean, you have to like enter the
But
tournament.
most of them are usually top 25.
Yeah, you have to like enter the tournament like as like top 55 or 45 in defense, top 25 in offense.
And again, to not get like
Duke's defense. I actually don't know.
like
I know
18.
their
22.
offense is 22. So they would be in.
Again, people get really mad when you talk about the efficiencies, but it is this. Without getting nerdy and without getting, it's just a baseline of how high the ebbs and flows of your team is. So when you say you're the number 1 offense, but 112 defense, that's a roller coaster type team. And for 6 games, when they matter in a one and done format against the best competition out there, chances are that a team that's a roller coaster, there's been exceptions, like Louisville was a horrific offense and made it with the number 1 defense. So you can rely on one element to run you for the 6 games. You could be really hot on offense. You could be really shut down on defense. You can do that. But for the most part, those roller coaster teams are not ones that make it through the 6 games. Something goes wrong for the most part. The stabilized teams that go through are the ones who excel on both ends of the floor for a long period of time through the season, top 25 all the way through. So you're looking at your UConns, your Tennessees, your Dukes, Arizonas, Purdue, the teams who have played the whole way through. There's been no ebbs and flows throughout the season. And, like, when you look back at a champion, like, I know last year UConn lost 5 in a row or 5 out of 6. But for the most part, like, you're not really even losing back-to-backs. The team is just rattling. They're just rattling off wins, and that's where they're at. So
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. Like
FAU, I think last year was like 31-4 coming into the
Alabama,
tournament.
when
Yeah.
say
No?
like a Duke team or a Tennessee team, like when they are having an off night, they can still win with their defense. Of like, if you hold them to 55 points, 60 points, you can still muster up. Like Alabama's fucking frustrating. I had Florida, and I was like really trying to watch Alabama on both sides of the ball, and it's like, man, when they're not hitting, it's kind of like they were deflated yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they shot really well from 2, but
Oates even came out and was like, they just were tougher than us the entire time. Like, they wanted it way more. And also, betting these games, everyone needs to realize, too, senior night's a different animal for a lot of these games.
Should have realized that
Like,
as
Kansas as well last night. You've given up on Kansas State, by the way. You've given up on them.
no, I didn't give up on them.
They're gone. I haven't heard a word from you this year about
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they needed to get a marquee win. They lost to Cincinnati and lost to Kansas. They're on the wrong side of the bubble. I still
Oh, yeah, I heard nothing about Tang.
I have said in multiple times that I think Tyler Perry is the kind of guy who can run off 4 days in the Big 12.
He sucked last night.
He struggled last night, but
Oh.
he can be the guy who can go big game for sure. There's a little beef in that Kansas game with the handshake lines. Have you heard about this?
Kansas State's assholes.
Have you seen the video of Bill Self shaking hands when he got his ass kicked?
I'm sure he shook his hand. Bill Self's a stand-up guy.
I don't think so. What would you call this? Let's send this to Dukes. Probably can't run it. Don't care.
You could just DM it to me.
You can run a non-basketball.
That's on ESPN,
But regardless, Kansas last night, like, that's where they have been struggling. They kind of show where it's like, if Nick Timberlake's hitting threes and El Marco Jackson can actually do something, they could be. But their bench is so thin. I don't know.
that kid Dumfries going in the or Frumfries going in the lottery.
Furphy?
Furphy.
Yeah.
I definitely for
Yeah, I've seen top like 15, top 20.
He went
for
from
sure.
undrafted to
crazy.
top 15. But, dude, that's because he's young, and you're doing this now. Like, he's in the perfect, like, it's crazy. If you're 18, you show that fucking potential, they'll draft you early. But he is also, his draft class isn't great.
No.
And he is, like, he came out of nowhere and started fucking, he didn't even start. He wasn't starting for
Right.
Kansas. And then,
That makes sense. He's 6'9".
yeah.
If he's 6'9" and a shooter
No,
What kind of year is Grady Dick having?
in
I
the
think,
end.
I think he's been decent. I'm
The Raptors just kind of suck, right?
yeah. I think he's been like solid. Because I know I see all those funny the clips of like the Raptors, like their home broadcast calling the games that they have. I don't know if you've seen like the highlight reels of it. It's like a young guy and the older guys, like the young guy's the the color guy, old guy's the play-by-play guy, and he's like Dick fills it up, and the guy's he's like, oh come on man, like, it's so funny. Like, but the one guy's just such like a pro's pro. He just says like the wildest shit with like his name's Dick. Like, it's so fucking funny. And the other guy, he's always like, oh man, I ain't even touching that. It's so funny.
And when
They're like
injury
back and
reports
forth.
come out, they say like, "Oh, Dick is out."
It's hilarious.
Funny.
There was showing like a highlight of him just like making threes and shit, and the guy like he's like Dick for this. It's so funny. The guy's
He
like,
checks into the game. Crowd goes wild for Dick.
Yeah, it's
a lot of Dick supporters here.
shit like
yeah.
that. It's so funny. It's hilarious.
I do feel bad, like that scene in The Sopranos when he's like with the penal doctor, penis doctor, and he's like, "Hey doc," he's like, "I heard them all. I heard whatever you're gonna think of. I fucking heard them all. I heard them all."
Yeah, tonight I'm going to Seton Hall with Frank,
Huge game.
with Nicky Mush.
Massive game.
Nicky Mush is like he went to Seton Hall, huge Seton Hall fan. So it's literally the most important game of Seton Hall and Villanova's season.
They both need a win so badly.
So badly.
So
They're both
badly.
on the bubble. Villanova's on the better side of the bubble, I believe, than Seton Hall.
Are they? I thought it was almost literally like neck and neck.
Dukes, do you know? I thought
Probably splitting
Villanova
hairs,
it probably is, but I thought Villanova was on the better side of Seton Hall of the bubble.
Yes.
They are, right?
I mean, it just depends who the bracketologist is, but yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, tonight's a huge game, and Frank is, I think, the most rational about Seton Hall.
He is, but if they lose, if they do what they've done and they lose this game and don't make the tournament,
Yeah.
Frank's going to lose his
He's
mind.
going to lose his mind. And I'm going to be courtside with Frank and my brother and Jenks, so it's going to be – my brother's, like, asked me so many questions. He's like, what should I, like – should I talk to him during – should I say anything? I was like, just sit there, and you'll – just observe the Tank aura.
Yeah.
Seton Hall Frank is like nothing compared to his other sports,
Yes,
though.
That's
it's
true.
his
That's
best.
true.
No,
It's his best. Jenks even said it was like it's his best attribute is Seton Hall.
So Seton Hall's on the last 4 in right now. Villanova's firmly in right now, from what I just saw.
Yeah, so it's fucking a huge
But-
game. Sold out for Seton Hall, which is big.
But if Seton Hall loses this, they'll be on the wrong side of the bubble, and St. John's will be in. Now, if you just want a taste of how
man.
much Frank will freak the fuck out, because just like I would just firmly said like, oh yeah, like if Seton Hall loses to Villanova, St. John's is in and Seton Hall's out.
Seton
And
Hall
I
swept
just
them,
said
right?
it. Yeah, I just said it like off the
heard it
rip to like
yesterday.
Rico or something, and Frank goes, "If fucking St. John's gets it over Seton Hall, that's the biggest fucking bullshit ever."
He's like, we beat them twice.
They
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to meet.
Did you hear that
they
right
need
now?
to
Yeah,
meet.
yeah, yeah.
They need to
We beat 'em
meet in the
twice.
Big East. Are they slated to meet in the Big East? They need to meet in the Big East because those elimination games in conference tournaments are the best.
I hate
when
to
like the
say it,
8-9 plays. But you've seen this where head-to-head wins don't matter. Last year, remember Clemson beat the balls off of NC State a few times.
Yeah.
I think in the conference tournament they lost by 40. I could be wrong, but or a week before they beat them by 40, and NC State got in and Clemson didn't. The head-to-head does not always matter.
It doesn't. That's what. Unfortunately, if Seton Hall loses tonight and them and St. John's do the same exact thing in the Big East,
St. John's getting in.
they don't care. They're gonna be like St. John's getting in.
What's the standings, Dukes, right now? See a projected bracket, Big East. Those two need to meet.
I know St. John's is.
They should segregate. I know, like people want their seats. Like, oh, I'm in section 110 and I have a good angle. They should segregate the whole fucking arena to New York and New Jersey. Just like East Wing is
be
Just
sick.
declare. And if you come in from like Connecticut and like Connecticut's playing the next game and you're like, yo, I don't really care. No, figure it out. You're on one side or the other.
Seton Hall's in 4th and St. John's is in 7th.
Wow, right now they literally.
Yes, I knew it was lined up that way. That's fucking awesome.
5th?
2:30 on a Thursday.
Oh, that'd be great.
I think this is like if
Get them
like,
in. Get them early.
if everything that's supposed to happen happens, this is what it'll look
Because
like.
right now St. John's is they're 10 and 9.
Like,
all
because then
11,
that would
so-
mean like
That would be
That means
awesome.
Villanova wins tonight.
Can I kind of say it?
But this could all change, obviously, if
right.
Casino obviously has like a game that's basically a pick 'em. It's
So
a
can I
1-point
can I
spread.
kind of say it?
St. John's is playing Georgetown.
That would
on
probably be
Saturday.
for the tournament.
Yeah, and I think the Big East obviously is good, and I grew up on this conference, so I'll always be excited for that tournament. But Providence Georgetown is a playing game that's kind of compelling. But then whoever wins that, let's say Providence, if the seeds hold,
That's kind of compelling.
it's definitely compelling. It's definitely compelling. But Georgetown's not playing to get into the tournament. They're just playing to ruin Providence's season. And to be honest, like Providence has handled Georgetown both times now. So,
I don't know about that. I think
well, the first game was a little close. Last night,
I don't know how much you watched last night, but like it came down to just like it was wide open looks that Georgetown usually hits that they did not hit, and I think people in Providence that like
Providence
I love,
stretched it out. I watched.
Yeah, like I think that's not a. I don't think that's a gimme by any means.
Okay,
honestly.
so that whatever, but pull that back up. Like I actually think the quarters are a little overrated. So like UConn against anybody is you could have the upset, but we think UConn's gonna win. St. John Seton Hall is the marquee game because it's a play-in. Creighton Providence like,
I think
and
it's a good
then
game.
Marquette Nova like Nova doesn't excite me. So yeah, it's always gonna be compelling, and there's probably gonna be upsets, and I'm gonna look back and it's gonna be old takes exposed. But like, I actually think the semis are then loaded.
Why doesn't Nova excite you?
I just think it's like I still think it's kind of a down. I know they're looking at the tournament. Nothing really about them excites me.
I actually don't have a problem with that. They're a whatever team to me this year.
That's what I'm saying. They're just literally whatever. It's like Texas Tech in the Big 12. Like
Just
they're good, but it's
they're
like
just a team still that like has like a little bit of the aura if they get in the tournament. Like
I did also hear this. The 9th team in the Big East is higher than a lot of ACC teams on KenPom.
yeah, probably
Like a lot.
ACC not like.
Oh, you're finally admitting the ACC is not good?
No, I mean it's tough because like I think that there's probably four teams will get in.
in the ACC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have the
Carolina, Duke,
Clemson.
Wake,
stinks.
maybe.
No,
Well, no,
they're
but
out.
they
They're
buried
out.
themselves
They're
last
out.
night,
They're
right?
out.
Yeah.
They're out.
Virginia's. I don't know what they're doing.
Pitt is close.
Pitt's probably
Pitt and
close,
Cuse,
yeah.
you could make an argument
Pitt's
for.
They're starting to be considered.
Pitt's
Pitt,
20
Pitt
10.
and Cuse. I think Pitt's on the eye test for me. I think Pitt's a tournament team.
Yeah, like that's
they're
what I'm
not
saying.
bad.
Like you still like Syracuse isn't bad either. Like they're 20-11 this year. Wake is just they really
They ruined themselves last
after
night.
after they beat Duke, they just have been awful.
I mean, losing. They were double-digit
Yeah.
point favorites last night
The weirdest thing ever
at home and lost.
This is the problem with the ACC. Miami,
Stinks.
Louisville,
Yeah, bad.
because these are teams that are always good.
Especially Miami the last few
Miami,
years.
Louisville, obviously Louisville's been horrible. Notre Dame has
down.
Notre Dame's getting better though. At least
I actually think Shrewsbury's done a great job with that team.
Yes.
You look at that record; they were projected to be like
Dukes was
2-50.
Dukes was they're like the worst team ever.
No,
Remember that?
people said that like talent-wise, it's the worst Power
Yeah.
5 roster that
Yeah.
they've seen.
So I was like, you know what? But like that Florida State is like always.
He's got to leave. We're gonna get a crazy carousel.
Yeah. He's
Hamilton should be
bad.
done.
And
It's
then
been a little
Virginia's
while now.
usually, like pretty good. Like there's just a lot of teams that you're like, what the fuck's happened to them in the past?
You know,
And
Florida.
I guess that NIL maybe I don't know.
Florida State, I think, like they were weird this year where their record's bad, but they're only like I know, and we just talked about the ACC is not great. They're like 9-10, and like they're not like
They're
horrible.
13 over 9 10 in the
Like they're 9. I think they're like 15-15, but they're like 9-10 in the ACC. And last night I was watching. They were on my quad box a little bit. They lost to Pitt, I think they didn't lose by like 15 or something like that. But it was one of those games where they were in it, and Pitt just like could not miss.
What do you make of
They still
Capel?
were,
What
like,
do you
in the
make of
game.
Capel? It seemed like they were trying to run Capel out. I feel like he's kind
I
of.
think they're back. I think he's back now.
I
They
found
actually
his
think
niche
he's
at
done
Pitt.
a fantastic job.
I agree with Duke. I think they played themselves where they could definitely be a.
It's so disappointing though. Pitt belongs in the fucking Big East.
They do.
Put Pitt and Syracuse. I know they'll never do it because of the. Imagine this conference with Pitt and Syracuse in the Big East.
Yeah, but I'm starting to think that like Pitt could be like a top-tier team in the ACC.
Yeah. They're like
I
on
didn't
the
see it before.
trajectory.
That's fair.
I think next year
That's
is
fair,
critical.
but
Next year's a critical year.
when you
for that
think
team.
of Pitt, what do you think of? You don't think of ACC. I don't
I
care
think
how
of
long
Jamie
they've been
Dixon.
there.
I think
Yeah, I think of the Big
I
East.
think
But-
Syracuse is like some people can think of the ACC. I think Pitt, Big East. I think Syracuse.
I don't know, man. Syracuse had Boeheim for 100 years, and that was like, he was a pivotal guy.
A lot of Syracuse Duke things have happened.
Agreed.
A lot.
Not as much as they've had in the Big East.
Yeah,
though.
like when you think Syracuse,
I
where do you
know.
think
I
of
think
them
like
playing?
Hughes.
You think of the 6 overtime game. You think
yeah.
of Jerry McNamara, not one fucking game.
You guys, it's definitely. I think it's arguable.
Him fighting with John Thompson. Him fighting with Carnesecca. Like,
I think Pitt's way more ACC than Syracuse is.
also,
ACC.
you got to remember, where do a lot of alums from Syracuse reside? That when Syracuse
what I
was
was
making
gonna
runs
say,
through the Big East, tickets were through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's a. I
They're
think
just geographically they're more
Yeah, it's like,
Big East in terms of just where they're at.
so
that's they lost last night, but I think they're not going to.
Clemson's good. I mean, that's not like a bad loss going to.
No, but it was like a
Clemson.
bubble game. For
No,
them.
for sure, for sure.
If they win that, they're probably,
Clemson's like comfortably in. I would say at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you guys?
shout out Jerry,
See,
by the way.
you guys aren't big. I want to go back to this really quick. You guys aren't sold on Villanova like at all.
Not really.
I am.
I think so. They're
I love them.
No,
I think they
playing
could be
a lot
dangerous
better.
because they do some things really well that like they always are a good like free throw shooting team and like things like that. Like they're good at like closing games out. So I that's where I could see them being dangerous. Like see them making a run in the Big East tournament.
Oh, they're a lot better.
They
They've
just
also-
play like good, smart basketball. They're not as talented as I think they've been the last. Like,
They
few
also
years,
have some
but-
experience on the team too.
Yeah,
that- that
Justin
help.
Moore.
Yeah.
Like
Dixon.
even that guy Housen,
Yeah.
the 3-point shooter, like he could stretch the floor.
I think that they just started off really slow.
I don't
and-
even think that. I think they had like good wins. They had like great wins.
Yeah, but
they
they
had
lost
bad
to,
losses.
like every Philly team, right?
yes. But
So
I'm
that's
saying like
where it's like that's where I think when people are you have to think about Dukes. People are fucking when you lose to a bad team, you're labeled as bad very early.
like look at this. Look at this right here. Wait.
I know they lost like LaSalle.
You
They
beat
lost like
you beat Maryland.
to Drexel,
You beat
too.
Maryland by 17. You beat Texas
LaSalle
Tech by
was last year.
like look at them. They killed
That's
these fucking
four.
teams.
Yeah, okay, Dukes. That's 4 impressive
was last
wins.
year.
That's 4 impressive wins, sandwiched next to 3 bad losses and 1 not so great loss. in Kansas State.
Is that quad all
Two.
quad fours?
Penn is
No,
Nah, that's probably like that. I bet you that's like some quad 3s.
Penn's quad 4, right?
I bet you St. Joe's is a quad 2.
Ken, you should be able to.
St. Joe's at home,
tough.
No. That'd
Is
be
there
quad
a
3.
what site? What site gives you quads?
semi-home is funny.
Semi-home.
What site gives you quads and tells you what teams are in those
Semi-home
quads?
against Drexel is
Well, it was because it was at the Palestra.
Oh, I know, but like
both got
no
some.
matter
Just
what,
losing to
it's
Drexel anywhere
Drexel.
is tough.
You
Tough.
can be at Drexel. It should be home.
Drexel's a cool gym.
They're so bad.
I actually think they're not horrific in the CAA.
But even being not
They're not.
horrific in the CAA,
Just
would
in
be
the
like
CAA,
still
they're bad.
Yeah, that,
I
that
mean,
league
like,
runs
you're
through
Villanova.
Charleston. Our city. Shout out Pat Kelce. Take down Hofstra. Shout out to Jerry, by the way. One of the more remarkable things to do that in 5.5 hours.
I'll tell you,
He
I
didn't
was-
miss.
I
And he
was-
was shooting. I called him. I said, I have one piece of advice. Don't jump on threes. You will lose your legs. And he jumped. And he was drilling
He
a
did
lot
it the
of
right
threes.
way though. He like the walk up, the like it step in. I thought was like he kept the right like just the good rhythm.
Good rebounder.
yeah.
Ryan, I should have. I was
The real thing, so he went all threes, then he did the twos, he did free throws, and then he finished the threes? Or he did half threes, all twos, free throws, finished the threes, correct? He had a great system with the twos. And anybody who's like, oh, well, he took a lot of layups, you need a down tick in the twos. Yeah,
why would you not take the easy?
you need a down tick in
I want to
difficulty.
say I did think that people were being a little ridiculous with the time. Like Jerry was very confident the whole time, and I do think Jerry's a better shooter than people think.
He's just like a savant with shit like that,
He's
weirdly.
just like his shot doesn't look good, but it goes in.
I didn't think it looked bad. Well, people forget he was like a really good high school baseball player. Like he's like it's now where like I put on a ton of weight since high school. I feel like change whatever. People think if you're not athletic when you're like 30, it means you had never an athletic bone in your body.
But also, like
You got he's not like a total non-athlete. Like
taking
he
anything
played sports and shit.
away from him, but like when you kind of feel you get your stroke, you can kind of feel it when you're like getting in a rhythm. Like and that's what happened to him. But 5 hours is impressive.
Yeah,
They-
I thought he was fucked.
Well, they also were saying they were like counting him like he was wide open shoot 10% from three. And I get that where you watch some of the yak gauntlets and you see some guys be so bad. Like if you're like any competent jump shot, you're like I was watching for probably like an hour at one point. He must have shot like almost 30% from three when I was watching.
Yeah.
Which is like pretty fucking good for
really
a guy that's
really
like,
impressive.
not playing basketball and should just get off the couch. And even wide open, shoot like 25, 30%.
Also
from
for a
threes.
guy that
pretty damn good.
obviously like he's not like a gym rat, you know.
Exactly,
Like,
that's what I'm
he's
saying.
Exhausted.
He doesn't work out or
He
anything.
was probably exhausted, so it was definitely impressive. Also, Coleman, the most Coleman way to get a challenge is like barely say the name right. And then not be like anticlimactic. Like Kirk's reaction was so fucking funny. He's like, "Yeah, you got it." Jim Tomei, like he was saying it like Marissa Tomei. What's her name?
Yeah, Marissa Tomei, yeah,
like he was
yeah.
not like Jim. He was just saying like
It's like Jim Tomei.
Tomei,
Yeah.
Tomei. Like it just so, it was incredible. And we've had and then Klemmer's just refusing to do anything. He's just not doing the challenges.
Yeah, I'm worried about Klemmer.
He's just
We're a little worried about Klemmer.
He's now in there for 49 hours. And again, he has 50 more hours.
Yeah, he's not halfway currently, or he's like just about halfway.
About to be.
I think maybe I believe actually in 10 minutes will be officially halfway.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, or I thought he got out at 2 on Friday. It could be 12. I don't know.
He's
Regardless.
I think it's exactly 50 hours in like 10 minutes.
Should
Yeah.
be longer.
I got something on the just going back to the way beginning of the show on Camden. This is from somebody. If they appeal the video, then it would set the precedent that anytime someone takes a video during the game, that a call could be overturned.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like that's what Rico said too. It kind of opens a can of worms of like, what are you going to start having like high school reviews? You know what I mean? Which
So
you obviously can't do.
So once that precedent's set, they probably don't want to make it. So they'll probably just eat this on the chin.
This one is just, just brutal. I mean, just absolutely brutal. I just couldn't imagine especially a team that you really weren't supposed to beat. I almost think it makes it worse.
Yeah.
The fact that you like legitimately beat them like fair and square, a team you had apparently from what we were told had no business beating.
Yeah.
You beat them and then you just get fucked.
Yeah.
Imagine you're like beat a team, especially if you're a bunch of guys that like aren't gonna play college, or maybe you got like 1 or 2 kids that are going to play like lower level. You beat a kid with Kentucky commit on the team and all these D1 commits on the team.
Real quick,
Awful.
do you think that the Storm Chasers have any chance tonight?
UCF's a pesky pace to play, but yeah, Houston's a different animal. I'm rooting for
No,
him.
like Houston is right. Of
There
course
is
they are. Like,
one.
They do have a look ahead. Look
Yeah.
at what's happened in basketball, and they do have a look ahead at home against Camden.
Oh, DJ Wagner's on that team.
He went
No,
there.
he went there. Okay, yeah.
So then
got it.
these are the teammates. that he
Kentucky, St. Louis, and all. Damn, you got 3 legit D1 players.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like UCF, like this is their senior night. Like I'm taking UCF with the points. I don't know if they can win, but I could see it. I could definitely senior night. A look ahead game for Houston. It's a whatever game for Houston. It doesn't really matter. They're still going to be a 1 seed if they lost this game probably. Like I don't know. I could see it.
I feel like there's no in between. Like it's either like
Yes.
it's a neck and neck, or they lose by like 35.
Yes.
Like I don't think they
they'll leave in
lose.
this first
They don't
half.
lose by like 10. They don't lose by like it is either like a 2-point game or it's like a 50-point game. It's
100%.
like total domination. That's why Houston is. They're suffocating. Like if they're hot offensively and they can just like chew you up and spit you out.
I need your advice because I am a South Carolina hater, and they have, and for no reason, they have dominated me every time. I don't think I've won against them. Tennessee's coming off of a great win away from Alabama. Now they're away again at South Carolina. Tennessee's -5.5.
I've been staring at it the last since literally yesterday night.
I think if I go to South Carolina, they're gonna lose, and if I go to Tennessee, they're gonna. I have this is like my most. I have no idea. I think Tennessee is fucking legit.
This is to me. It was either going to be Tennessee or no play.
Did you also know Connect had no D1 offers going out of high school?
I didn't know he was out
Really?
in the fucking big sky.
0 offers.
He was at where
Northern
was he?
Colorado.
Northern Colorado. In the fucking big. I probably watched him without realizing.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too.
I
for
thought he
sure.
100% watched
I
him.
love when that happens.
Connect's like one guy almost thought he was just like a freshman this year, and like all the good recruiting. You know, like sometimes you just like
Yeah.
it's those guys. I was watching after the game. Tennessee game or whatever they had, for some reason they had a documentary of him of Tennessee, and like Rick Barnes talking about him. He was like, yeah, he had 0 offers out of high school. That's insane.
So he went JUCO or he was a walk-on.
I think it was like I think he
Just walked out of Northern
walked on,
Colorado.
yeah, and then just like
That's crazy.
crazy. Or it might have went JUCO. I forget. It was in and out of the. I wasn't that interested, but I was like, wow, he had no offers. He's fucking great. He'll get drafted.
No, I was seeing the mocks I'm seeing right now. He's like a first-round pick.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's also what 6'6". He's like 2.
He can shoot. He can fucking score like a motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think he'll find his way on the NBA team. I think at least
Was there any? Oh, Northwestern, Michigan State.
tonight.
Michigan State. What a joke of a team.
They were like safely in. I can't.
They
fucking
were
figure
ranked
them out.
like fucking 4.
I can't
going
figure
in.
them out.
They're safely in.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not on bubbles.
We beat them.
Find them on the
last
bubble.
week.
They're not on
I
bubbles.
really didn't. I haven't checked.
They're on the 8 line, 9 line.
This is whoever wins this game's a lock in the tournament.
Yeah.
is a lock.
Yeah, I would say for sure.
You guys, I've been on a cold stretch now this week. What do you think of these two? I'm going to take TCU minus the 4.5. They need that game to get in, I think, or to solidify. I think that hits 20 wins for them. And I'm going to take UConn Marquette under 151.5. Without Kolek, I could see UConn turning up the defense to a degree. You know what I mean?
Going back, I've been more of the TCU one.
I also don't think Marquette. I think Marquette could get squished. And I know the game's at home, but they don't have the offensive firepower. I don't see that being like a track meet.
Yeah,
Or UConn gets up 10-12, and it's like, you know, even 75-60, and then they kind of hold it for. I don't know. 151 seems very high, and you need a lot to go right for both teams to go over 75 points there. It would be close to 75. Both teams over 75, even at a fast pace.
Can I
say
say
under.
something real quick? Last night I took the over in Purdue in Illinois. And sometimes I'm like, damn. Sometimes these overs are way too high.
Yeah.
I got the numbers wrong. You ever watch a game? You have a different bet. And
Yeah,
numbers. They hit a 3, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I just hit it. It was like 148. The over is 165. I'm like, what did I first of all do? 165 is so many points for college.
I mean, last night, well, it hit, but I mean, these Bama, some of these SEC overs are insane.
SEC overs are hitting.
The over, it was like 170
10 overs. I
think last night for Florida, it was 176.5. I mean, and it started so slow.
Yeah.
And it went over like easily. They ended up scoring like 100, like
I think Big
190.
10 overs are a bad bet.
Yeah.
Braden Smith's the best point guard in the nation.
Dude, he's good. I just fucking can't stand Purdue.
He's the best point guard.
I cannot stand
By far.
Best point by far?
By far, I don't know.
I don't know about by far, but he's for my money. Like I don't know who else I'm taking over him.
I don't know if you can consider him a point guard, but and also I've just fallen. I fall in love with like a few teams. I just love this Florida team. I love Walter Clayton. That's like my guy. I love.
Yeah, that's
he's
a fall.
like
That's a
shooting
fall.
guard.
That's a fall in love guy. That's not the best point guard in the nation. I don't.
But he's more of like a shooting.
you have to say
he's probably more of a 2, to be honest.
Obviously,
But
you have to say Tyler Kolek, too.
Oh, breaking news!
Yeah,
really
bad.
quick. Breaking news.
Not good. Not good.
This is one.
I don't get what Klemmer was trying to do with stream.
oh no.
What did he say?
It gets worse.
Or he said, "What he's trying to do with the stream that prove that he could bore people to death for 100 straight hours."
We have a follow-up tweet from the boss man.
Gets worse.
Oh no.
So the cut stream could keep him.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's how long ago? Literally this
Like,
minute.
this
oh my
minute.
god.
Oh no.
Oh.
Brutal.
Is he gonna know this?
No.
Do you have any intel on that?
Says no.
I don't know.
No, but I'm saying he's in there anyway. But he might be getting informed the stream is cut.
Oh.
Well, I guess at that point, I guess you almost can't tell him because then he's gonna obviously would leave.
You would just be like, well, I'm not.
He'd be like, yeah, obviously, like Dave can keep him there, but obviously he can't literally like make him stay in there. You know what I'm saying?
This is gonna be something.
Unnamed show tomorrow is gonna be
You
wild.
want content? This is gonna be content.
Yeah, unnamed show's gonna be good.
You might. We gotta watch out. If Klemmer hears about this and comes into this office after being in there for 50 hours, he might kill us all.
I'm taking a mental health day for sure.
I've already saying. I mean, next week I was already worried.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be biting everyone's ankles like a fucking chihuahua. Yeah, he guy's already tense.
That's tough.
I mean, if Meek breathes, he tells.
If I mention the 80s, he
Yeah,
just flips out
If
on
Meek
me.
says anything, he explodes on.
We're
Meek.
not talking Jets or Patriots next week. Just for what it's
I
worth.
will be. I think we should just tell him no. Don't come to the show next week. Take a second.
It's tough.
I know this is a
This is
tough
a locked room in here too. He might get PTSD.
Oh man.
Next week, strictly college basketball.
I know this is tough to like kind of transition from, but George Mason. No,
I was about to be like, Dukes, no way, bro.
I do have something to say about that when we get there.
Get where?
So no, are you ready for it? Are we going to
Go.
transitioning?
Transition because yeah.
So George Mason's coach came out the other day and he was like, yeah, this time of year is getting really tough for the portal because now you're not just fighting to like get the guys rallied up for the conference tournament, but you have to keep guys from like focusing on the portal. So half his team is focusing on the portal. They're playing Rhode Island on the road. Their best player is out, Keyshawn Hall. Rhode Island plus 3.5. Might be my favorite play tonight. And then here's another one in the A10. Davidson minus 1.5. At home against Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago had a big win at home against Dayton. I think they come down to earth. I think Davidson minus 1.5 is also another A10 play that I'm focusing on.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Now, are your guys real quick? Is your guys' Twitter numbers all fucked up? Like right now, Barstool Gambling, our show, which is obviously a lie. I'm not an idiot. But it has 17,000 people on
Are you saying Klemmer didn't have 350,000 people watching him sleep this morning?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see that.
no, there's been Hank's making jokes about it. Like there was for overnight, he literally didn't. He just was sleeping the entire time. It said 200K, and then it said like
I didn't see that.
350K.
Okay.
Like it's and he literally was asleep the entire
I was
time.
like,
It
why?
almost,
I was
it
like,
doubled.
17K. Like, did something happen? Like, what happened? And then,
Yeah.
but obviously, it's wrong.
Yeah, there's something going on with like the Twitter count or whatever for live viewers. Yeah, tough.
Tough, man.
Now I'm just curious if Klemmer like is gonna know that they're just like not like because imagine honestly the funniest thing would be to not tell him. This might be honestly the best thing for the concepts ever. Maybe they just have a clip of it. It's not gonna be live, obviously, because it's cut. But if they keep him the whole time telling him it's obviously don't tell him it's not live anymore. And then at the 99th, like when there's like a minute left, just be like, yeah, you haven't been live for like 50 hours.
Bro, that's so mean.
I almost think you have to do that to save the stream.
Like,
And the stream
is off. I just looked.
The stream is cut, but I'm saying you have to do that to save. We need some content from this stream. He needs something like worth.
Maybe keep the cameras rolling, but not live.
But I almost feel bad if it's not live. Like so many people are behind the scenes are like grinding on the shit.
No, I'm saying you could keep it rolling with the they don't have to.
I see Steve, my guy Steve, shaking his head. He's shaking his head in the back. I'm thinking about you, Steve. No, I'm thinking about
If
you.
he
guys.
makes it,
You guys, like he's on camera. There's like 4 guys back there working around the fucking clock to make this shit go.
if he goes 100 hours and this stream was cut for 2 days, oh my God, I'm not coming to work.
Dude, if he stays in the whole time, they have to tell him at the last second that he hasn't been live for 50 hours. His reaction will be like worth the whole thing.
Might be the meanest thing you could probably ever do.
But he's already. I mean, the meanest thing you do to yourself is lock yourself inside for 100 hours straight in a white room.
A lot of challenges, like Jerry does his because it's like that's just like he just makes the challenges, whatever. Most of the challenges that happen at Barstool is like you say you can do something, someone challenges you, and you do it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like my baseball thing, it's been a thing. I said I'm doing it. Jim Tomei.
Yeah.
That happened organically. Klemmer was like, "Yeah, I just want to do 100 hours."
This man has to film Rat Race next week.
Yeah,
my
dude, I'm
goodness.
not. I don't know if I'm doing it anymore.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, I could do nothing
Are you?
longer than
Dude,
anyone.
he just got tortured for like fucking like a week, basically, like not getting filmed. Now he's gonna like first day back in the office, like, all right, Rat Race. He's gonna torture us.
Now I know when I told him that to get in the UFC to watch the card this, I don't want him watching any violence the second he gets out.
Oh yeah, don't.
He
give
also
him.
yesterday.
He told me he couldn't. I was like, you know what? Good idea. Don't.
Wait till UFC 300. Give him that. One.
That's what I said. I said wait till.
13th.
That's
know
what I
it's
said.
April 13th because
Good
I
for you
want to
on
watch
that
that.
date.
Oh yeah, see, I'm.
You're gonna watch this weekend.
Yeah. Oh,
Because I was trying, and I'll say this.
Sean guy.
I know we're gonna end. This is end soon. If you're like even not a fan of the UFC at all,
No, I got a few things going.
he's cooking.
Checking stats. I'm checking updates.
I understand, but the
things
fuck.
going.
I would say if
Thanks,
even if you're not a fan whatsoever, watch this weekend.
Yeah, I'm a Sugar Sean guy.
Buy it or do what you got to do. Watch it.
Yeah.
It's
you also
the
see
main
Cle-
cards? The whole card's incredible. The main card's like insane.
Did you guys hear Klemmer yesterday? Also, like during the one part of the stream where he's like, "I can get really mean." It's like, okay, don't. Like,
Well, no, him talking about like the leverage he has. I'm like, it's just so funny here because like no one you're batting against. You chose to do
dude,
this.
Kelly Keegs.
Like you didn't lose a bet. You didn't like nothing. You just said lock me in a closet for 100 hours.
I've respected Kelly Keegs from afar. Her videos last night legitimately had me like laughing.
She's
out loud.
right.
She's
100%
She's
right.
She's like, what power do you have? You asked for this. Like
That's what I'm saying. No, her video was like her saying like she was talking about what I'm saying about. He's like, I got leverage. You want me to be mean? I'll get mean. I'm gonna give him and hand over the remote in good faith. I'm like, you signed up for all of this. This was your idea.
I have to pull up that.
Like
video.
no one held you at gunpoint to do this. No one. You didn't lose a bet. Like I said, you didn't. Nothing happened that led to this other than you just saying, I want to do this big stream.
Big Ev, you're gonna Big Ev and Dukes and Phil. Are you guys gonna try out for the basketball team or no?
So I don't know because I'm running the half marathon on April 28th, and I don't want to break my ankle before then.
Hardo!
Yeah, same. I'm running the half marathon too.
Yeah.
Big Ev.
That's why I also can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do
if
you
I
know
wanna
who
break my
ran
ankle.
a half marathon that you would never believe? Or I think ran a marathon or walked a marathon? Rick Majerus.
Good for him.
Nice.
Fact check me, but pretty sure.
I mean, I
I'm
That's
not
like
gonna
not.
fact
That's
check
like
you,
not
to be
that
honest.
crazy. I don't.
I also don't care.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
I thought it was someone from Barstool or something.
think. I was like Tyler O'Day.
that's what I thought. I thought you were setting up a Tyler O'Day joke.
Nah.
But when I got the email, I thought about maybe potentially joining the coaching staff, but I couldn't be under Klemmer. He's a great rah-rah guy, but he's zero X and O's.
Honestly,
And I couldn't deal with that because even me watching him coach, I just know basketball better than him.
but that's why I think the video works because
No, but he's a great like players like a players coach, but he just doesn't know what he's doing like true like coaching basketball.
Yeah.
Like strategy, he has no idea what he's doing, but he's a good like players guy. Like get the guys want to play for him.
Yeah.
And that is like 80% of the battle.
that. You need that.
But yeah, I mean, tough. It's the streams we've had this week.
I'm gonna
are
play this
truly
really quick.
just
Is that all right?
Yeah,
play
Just
this
for people that didn't know the context.
I am in disbelief. I can't stop watching this stupid fucking stream. I want to stop bringing attention to it. I'm serious, but I can't because it's so annoying. Klemmer he's right now trying to negotiate. He needed to give the remote back. I don't really know why. I think because like he was just being annoying with it and like using it as like a negotiation tactic, and he just now was like, I'm giving it back in good faith because it's impossible to count that rice, and I'm not expecting a punishment for it, and if you do something about it, it's an act of war, which means that I got a lot of stuff in here, and I can start acting crazy. I have more leverage than you think. Klemmer, you wanted to do this. No one asked you to do this stream, and we're all watching it, and you're doing nothing but arguing about nothing because you don't want to do something because you'd rather lay down than count rice? Why? Do something. This is fucking crazy. Negotiate. Just leave then. Just leave. Just leave the stream. If you don't want to do it, we don't care. Oh my God. I can't stop watching.
I agree with her.
She really is. Yeah,
I've never agreed with a human being like more than that. I'm almost afraid to like talk because I love Klemmer. I'm almost afraid to be like, you should have counted the rice, bro.
Well, no, he should have.
You should have counted the rice. You choosing to do nothing over counting the rice, and
the
the puzzle of admits
Dave doubled down too. He said, "Now this will be good. I can't wait for Klemmer to come out and be told nobody was watching him for the last 2 days."
All right, so me and Dave are on the
just,
same page.
He was
You
just
have to do that.
He was just talking to himself.
Me and Dave are on the same page. You have to do
Dave
that.
is.
You have to tell him he's live this whole time and he's not live, and then get a camera on him for the last 10 minutes and tell him, bang, like you just
And
you
Dave
haven't
is,
been live.
So that's why Dave is. I'm not trying to glaze him right now, but that is such funny thinking of just.
Well,
like,
yeah, but no. But the
Pause.
funny part is when you're around him when he has done stuff like that, sends it, and then like does that evil laugh.
He's laughing
as
right
well.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like.
Gaz he probably didn't even know the stream was happening until Gaz told him, and then he's just like, "Oh,
Dude,
this is what he's doing."
Could you imagine being Klemmer's wife? Like if she has Twitter.
Oh my God.
She's like, and she's like, do I just go into that fucking office and get my husband back?
She storms it. She's like not allowed in.
Yeah.
She's like,
Vibs is like guarding the door.
she's like walking his dog, like doing all the shit around the house while he's just standing there for no reason now.
Jesus Christ.
Wait.
It's unbelievable. God, he should have just did that damn puzzle. That's what happened.
Or not unplug a speaker.
That too.
Klemmer's wife going to get her husband.
Jesus. All right. That's a good note to end it on. All right. We'll catch you tomorrow. That's Pick Central.